So there are people that say that Brawn possibly lived through this and maybe was a Decepticon spy the whole time. And they say it's because he got shot in the shoulder.
Well, obviously that's not true. I mean,
this is a conspiracy theory.
There
we go.
Ryan's not particularly thrilled with this minute.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast that delivers a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 animated Transformers movie. This is your host, Aaron. Along with me is...
I'm Ryan.
Hi, and I'm Caleb.
And we are here today to discuss, it's the episode 9. We're covering minute 8:01 to the 9-minute mark of the Transformers movie. We're going to start things off with kind of a... heart-shattering Decepticon victory and end with fishing.
Yeah, it's the end of the second most depressing scene in this film and the most boring scene in this film.
It's a weird mashup.
Well, so yeah, that's true. I mean, just to recap the last episode, because it was so intense, it was really harsh. Brawn, dead. Prowl, super dead. Ratchet, dead. Ironhide, dead?
Question mark?
But yeah, so it was an emotional journey that basically ended with Megatron kind of releasing himself from Starscream's hands, transforming, backflipping into like kind of a victory pose. And
he's a good poser.
Yeah. So with this episode, basically kicks right into classic Starscream Megatron shit talk.
I have notes about that. There's a lot of that in this movie. Like they really, if this is your first exposure to the dynamic of Starscream and Megatron, they really want to hammer home that he fucking hates this guy.
Yeah.
Megatron is
he'll
very derisive.
He'll let him pull his trigger. He'll let him shoot him. But then he'll transform out and call him an idiot.
That was kind of sexy.
Well, what's happening?
Pull my trigger. Yeah, it's like so. And Starscream's so used to being yelled at, he doesn't even have a reaction. He just kind of stands there.
In fact, okay, so at the 8:12 mark, right as they're sort of trading the barb, then Megatron calls him an idiot, starts to walk away, and then then he looks a little sad.
He kind of just resets to neutral. I mean, he's got the frowny face parabola or whatever. Anyway.
So this is also the part where Megatron explains the big plan. They're pulling a Trojan Horse situation.
That's right. When we slip by their early warning systems in their own shuttle and destroy Autobot City, the Autobots will be vanquished forever.
Can you do a Megatron
No,
voice?
I can't. I've tried.
No. Who's the voice of Megatron?
Frank Welker.
We
covered him in Exhausted.
We did.
There's no reason to really talk about him anymore.
And
he probably did 3/4 of the characters on this.
Well, and as to doing an impression of Megatron, I've tried because I watched a thing where Frank Welker, and I've mentioned this in the another episode, where Frank Welker explains how he came up with the voice, which is starting with the voice he calls "I'm lost in a cave," which is "I'm lost in a cave," and then he added more elements to it. So he does hold his throat. So I've tried to do a Megatron, but I just sound like I'm dying.
I think it would just be hurt. It would hurt.
It hurts my voice. I start coughing.
Hold up. Well, I guess that's why he gets paid the big bucks.
That's right. Why he's so in demand.
I once heard Mel Blanc's hardest character to do was Yosemite Sam. Like he had to really dig deep to have that energy, and apparently it was really hard. Like it was really exhausting to do Yosemite Sam.
It does sound like it would be. Yeah. I was about to try and do Yosemite Sam, and
let's see if I can do it. Great! I can't do it at all.
That was Tony the Tiger.
Great horny toads. I can't do it. Again, that's why.
My biscuits are burning.
That's why.
Great season ghost.
Yeah.
I could do Alf.
Yeah.
but I'll do it another time.
Oh, you're teasing us now.
So welcome to the Looney
Look forward to
Tunes.
episode 10 when I do.
This is our
Welcome to the
podcast
Looney
called
Tunes podcast.
Chatting with Voice Artists.
who aren't voice artists. Okay, moving on. So, what to you guys is the most brutal death in the movie that we've seen thus far? There's really only one more significant one, I guess. But what's the most brutal?
Well, when the life goes out of the eyes of Prowl,
and smoke comes out of his goddamn
smoke
mouth.
comes out of his mouth. That's kind of like the first reveal of like, all right,
They can die.
They are dying, you know.
True.
Yeah, I would agree. That's the roughest.
light goes
I
out.
mean, I will say they'll get. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just reiterating. The light goes out of his eyes, and
Literally.
they do it slow. Like
Yeah.
it's
And then he falls. I would say the Ratchets is pretty tough too because he gets shot a lot. But
So you guys both think that's more grotesque than the Ironhide?
Ironhide? Yeah.
Like just straight up execution, point blank range?
Yeah. Well,
it has more of an impact to me.
yeah, you don't
Like it's
see
kind of
it.
like I remember that scene more than anything else.
The bummer more to me is not that it's so brutal, is that Ironhide's my second favorite character in this show.
Oh, I didn't know that. Behind?
Yeah, Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay. All right.
Why Iron? Why not?
I think it's his voice, and he's just like an old crotchety fucking like, come on, Prime. I don't want to do that shit.
So I kind of wish when he got shot, he would have been like,
Oh fuck!
yeah.
God damn, that smarts.
Now we're doing Yosemite Sam.
Okay, so
It is a cool pose though that Megatron has. Like it's a neat angle they chose to do that in.
how did he not blow a hole in the ship or blow his foot off? I mean, he's got
He's got control,
arguably
baby.
the most powerful cannon in the. I guess can he use his mental powers to control how strong? Or I'm just making this strong enough to kill this guy.
I think that's what I would think.
All right, well.
Because it was I'm jumping ahead. Never mind. That's minutes away.
Okay, all right. Well, so everybody dies on this ship. The ship then kind of flies off into the distance. Decepticons take over the bridge area here, and then we're on Earth. Well, I guess we see the ship flying towards Earth, and then it pans, and you see Hot Rod and Daniel fishing. Daniel depressed. He misses his dad. Hot Rod tries to console him. They catch a fish. That's basically the end of the
really
end of the
riveting.
minute.
Do you notice? Look at the size. Like he has
Okay.
a rod and reel that is enormous.
Okay,
Like-
yeah. The fishing poles bother me a lot. Okay.
They needed a large fishing pole for a man his size.
I can only assume this is custom made.
Well, his name's Hot Rod, right?
And that's
Like fishing rod.
Like a fishing rod.
maybe it's an accessory he came with.
Yeah.
It is an accessory he came with on the masterpiece.
Is
Hot
it?
Rod.
That's awesome.
I've got
I was just getting ready to
You're
say that.
kidding.
That's
Yeah,
really
he
cool.
comes
With a
fishing
rod and,
pole.
oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's
It's awesome.
badass.
I never will pose him with
Now,
it,
I hate this because, like, okay, leaving aside that he had a custom-made fishing pole, why are they holding him upside down? Clearly, nobody involved in this movie has been fishing.
I don't know. No. Those are you know what? These are fly fishing rods.
but they're not
not,
fly
though.
fishing.
I know that, but that's what they're using. They're using like fly fishing rods. So yes, those they're not completely incorrect.
Well,
Well, let me ask you this: they're both holding him in their left hand, or they're.
But that also means you can't.
They're holding him in the wrong hand for reeling it
Exactly.
in. Also,
because you'd have to reel with your left hand.
Well, I'm left-handed, so I mean that's
Do
how I
you
do it.
reel with your left hand?
I reel with my right hand.
No.
welcome everybody to the Autopod Decepticast Angling Hour.
Yeah, the Decepticast.
So pleased with himself. That was pretty good. So in
Hot Rod's Decepticast.
Yeah, see, like we're gonna have a side. We're gonna start
That's pretty good.
a side cast where it's all about Transformers fishing.
or we can just do like Transformer puns.
Hot Rod's Decepticast. It's all about his experiences, like out on the lake, and
Fly fishing with his dad. In the original, I think Ron Friedman has never been fishing either, because in the original script, oh my god, starts with them seeing the ship land, and then he goes, so that hasn't happened yet in this one. But then whenever Hot Rod reels up the fish, He pulls up a line with 3 fish on it. How is that even possible?
In the original script?
Yeah.
I don't even know why that would be like...
This is literally what it says. Pulls line up to show he's caught 3 large fish.
We need to get our aligned on what versions of the script we're looking at, because in my version, there is no mention of fishing, or they are fishing. There's never a part where they actually catch a fish.
Oh.
Like there's no, in fact.
Real missed opportunity.
Yeah, on Earth, Daniel's kind of got his portable viewer, and he's keeping track of the scene opens up, and it's like Daniel's already sees that the ship is coming in. He's getting excited about it. There's no mention of him being depressed, sad, missing his dad. He just basically, the ship's coming, let's go. Mm-hmm. And then I'm jumping a little into next episode technically, but then Hot Rod throws the pole into the lake, and then they go off together. His custom pole.
Is
So he's
that-
like
so
not
that's-
even.
Is that getting ready to happen?
No.
No, he
not in
doesn't
this
do
one.
that here.
But in the script,
there's no littering.
In the script, they
in my version of the script,
they literally
we need
write-
to figure out what. Like,
Yeah,
it would
we
be
need to
interesting
think
to figure out which
All
one.
of that's ridiculous. Why? When,
I love
is
the script
Friedman-
deviation parts of
Is
this.
Friedman writing? Do you think Friedman was writing that he caught 3 fish, kind of as a demonstration of his prowess? at
But it's
fishing?
impossible. It's
Well, I
literally
know,
impossible.
I know. So you're right. He doesn't understand fishing. A good fisherman isn't known for reeling
Multiple
in
fish at
at
once.
time. He caught like 7 fish.
Unless he's got like
Like
hooks
wins.
down the line like you do in a deep sea fishing
Right.
commercial vessel.
Just catch him with a net.
Yeah.
And we don't
That's
know if this
weird.
is a Friedman thing or a
Right.
Dilly thing,
Okay.
but
a lot of
But they in your version they actually just wrote that he just threw the rod into the lake.
right, they threw the
It's
rod
a
into the
weird
lake
detail.
and then they took off. But another script deviation on mine when it comes to the scene on the ship, Ironhide, instead of saying no and being blown to atoms, he says. Fat chance, Megatron.
Oh,
and then
that's-
picks himself up, grabs onto Megatron, and Megatron then just flings him against a wall and says such heroic nonsense. But it doesn't mention that he executes him at
Yeah.
that point.
Well,
So I'm
this is-
sure they changed it.
They punched it up. This is better.
Okay, so I might have an earlier version. You may have draft 2, perhaps.
I feel I try.
there's a way to
I feel like the
validate
one
that.
I have is pretty early because it's really different. But
Well, at some point between my draft and your draft,
We're hitting them
somebody
all.
decided, 0 fish, 3 fish, and then they settled on 1 fish.
Well, good. I think they made a good choice.
yeah, I mean if you're gonna
1
have,
fish is a good fish.
What
Good
if, like-
number of fish.
I would
Jesus.
hope that, actually, what would be awesome is if he did throw the rod into the lake and it shows the rod sinking to the bottom of the lake with a pile of other rods. Every time he's just like...
they're disposable rods. They're
Well, we
single-use
call them
rods.
in his mind, they are. So he's just like...
No wonder they need so much energon. They're wasting all their time building rods.
Let's. I've got a few notes about Daniel here. Okay, so the character. I'll talk about the character, and then I'll talk about the actor a little bit.
Who is Daniel?
So that's Spike's son. But so a couple questions that I have in my notes here is, why is Hot Rod babysitting Daniel?
He's clearly the most responsible.
Right.
I would,
Or
I was gonna
he's
be
the
sick-
fuck up, and that's they're like, you're with the kid.
Like both of you guys, we don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Right.
Like we're gonna
Go
we're
fish.
planning on invading Cybertron. You go over here and just help Daniel fish for a while.
Right.
Maybe that's why in the script he threw the pole in the water because he hates this.
Right. So, okay, but then I start thinking a little deeper. So, obviously, Daniel is at least initially, he's just a device to explain that time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
In a previous minute, we see Spike as an adult, and now, what's Spike been up to all this time? Well, fucking, I guess, because he's got a
at least
10, 12-year-old
And this
kid.
movie
once.
is a real sausage party because we don't even get to see Carly, presumably Spike's wife who had the baby.
Well, she shows up in the
the
season
show.
3, but okay, and then that makes me think even more. Okay, we all know Spike from the cartoon. What the hell is his relationship to the Autobots? They've got him on a moon base on the front lines of the war.
security
What
officer.
what value is he adding? What's his role in this whole thing? What does he do for them? Is this a
Spike's-
job? Is this a job? What is his job? Do they pay him? Do they pay him by babysitting his son?
Spike is
Child
us.
care.
Daniel is us, the viewer, the kid.
Just as a short side note, if you're going to have humans, 2 is a perfect number of humans in a Transformer movie. That's kind of a shot at the other ones, but I think that Spike he's with Bumblebee, so I think they're both like scout/security guys. I don't know why he's. I mean, maybe he just is good. I don't know.
Did he go to college for this?
He probably just had on-the-job training.
Yeah, he had a field promotion.
He had an internship.
All right. Well,
He does have that sweet
I
suit.
tried to do research to find out if technically what his role was, and the only thing I could find is that in season 3, he appears to be some kind of like intergalactic ambassador, sort of for like Earth and the robotic nations of the world. And then I've seen some of the post season 3 in Japan. Transformers continued another number of seasons, and I've seen part of the Headmasters. Is what it was called, the first Japanese series, and in that he's definitely kind of like a space ambassador.
So he's like
kind
Spock
of character,
after
sort of, yeah. It's hard to really understand what's going on with those shows, but I
can see it from a writer's standpoint that he's like it's their way of having connection between the human viewer.
Just because he's the first human that gets to interact with them, now he gets to represent all of humanity on their behalf.
Somewhere.
Yeah, well,
Hey, we love the guy.
Do you think he messes? Do you think he, in his studies, like he took like a potion selected at all? Because
well, the Transformers don't appear to have knowledge of potions. That's really a Lithonian thing.
yeah, but as an
That's
ambassador,
why the Lithones
as
were
an
kicked off
ambassador-
of Cybertron decades
Long ago,
Like,
it was
their
like
potion
Spike-
religion.
Spike-
I was going to say the Puritans.
Spike's an emissary, and on his trip to Lithon, he brings them a variety of potions as a gift.
All right, so then I'll try and cover this really quickly because people probably don't care that much. But since I've been kind of covering the actors a little bit, so the kid that played Daniel, his name is David Mendenhall, and actually. This guy works, man, and he was working a lot whenever this came on. He was probably about 13 or 14 when this was recorded, and he had from 82 to 86, a pretty incredible run of voiceover work. So he continued to do Daniel on the Transformers, but he did stuff on Smurfs, Rainbow Bright, Puff the Magic Dragon. I don't know if that's an animated movie or TV show. Cabbage Patch Kids, Bernstein Bears, Potato Head Kids, and then he was actually a live actor on General Hospital for the good part of 6 years, from 79 to 86. And you have seen this movie, Ryan. I haven't. I know it's a classic, and my wife loves it. But apparently, I don't know if he is like the main kid in Over the Top.
Yes,
but he is in Over the Top. Okay,
that
so he's the
movie is so good. I have watched that movie probably 20 times, and it's ridiculous, but I love it. I'm never going to get to talk about it, so I'm going to say right here that they offered that to Stallone like 5 times and kept upping the money until he was getting $20 million, and he was like, oh, fuck it, nobody's going to see this. That's literally what he said, and nobody did.
He got paid $20 million.
I think it was either 12 or 20,
80?
something like that. It couldn't have been 20. It must have been 12, but it was high.
Stallone had a knack though for being in movies, and they for the most part, at that era in the 80s, they made bank.
They did, and this one did not. I mean, it's probably made his money back now, but I love that movie. In fact, I just watched it last weekend.
Well, I listened to the How Did This Get Made?
Over the Top, yeah.
Yeah, and it was really fantastic.
Pretty good.
I'll have to check it. I need to watch the movie. I think we own it. I think you
You
gave
do?
it to
I bought it. I gave it to Melanie for like her birthday.
I've never. But he actually this Mr. Mendenhall won a Razzie for Worst Supporting Actor in that movie, and but still acting today. Still parts in movies. So
I don't think he was bad in that movie. He's insufferable, but I think that's the character.
Well,
I didn't. Anyway, I guess I wasn't really reviewing the acting while watching that movie. About arm wrestling guys, BTW. That's what the movie's about.
is that the one that? Is there a famous scene in that where a guy's arm gets broken while arm wrestling?
There is a scene where a guy's arm gets broken. Yes.
All right.
It is gross.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think I have anything else. I think that was all I wanted to mention.
All right. Well, with that, guys, that ends episode 9.
What's in store the next minute? What can the
Gonna
listeners...
tease it a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, let's think about
The
this
next
here.
minute.
How do you guys feel about Whoppers?
Like, you want to go to Burger King right now?
Or the candy.
Or just the word.
Oh, I get it. God, that took way too long.
I still don't get it.
You will.
How do you guys feel about Back to the Future Part 2?
Yep, that's in there. A little
Caleb
bit,
just looking at me with lost eyes.
I don't think you'll know what I'm talking about, but a little bit of Knight Rider as well.
Ooh.
Just some-
All right. Well,
I have no idea what's
listener,
going on
if
right now.
this intrigued you at all, tune in.
if this is the last episode you listen to,
Episode 10
Sorry.
of the Autopod Decepticast.
Yeah, we are on Twitter at APODcast, and same on Facebook, Fleshbook. That's a different
Fleshbot?
website. That's a different website I'm setting up.
Okay.
And then email is it the same? APODcast@gmail.
APODcast@gmail.
And you can get all this through our website, which is autopoddecepticast.com.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
And review.
Who told you guys you could?
Oh, we're on
do this
iTunes.
part?
We're on iTunes.
We're on
also.
iTunes.
I didn't think you were gonna do it. I thought you were gonna skip it.
Subscribe and like.
Yeah,
and review.
actually, yeah, we just got on the iTunes store. Actually, here we are sitting at episode 9, and we just actually started publishing and promoting. So,
Yeah.
but at any rate, thank you guys for your listening, and we'll talk to you.
Best sign out ever.
Bye.
Bye.